Hey there, lads and ladies of the internet. Listen, if you've got Marnier's KALANCHOE but want some more, then grab that leafy bulbous friend of yours by the container, find something sharp, and stick the f*** around. Because today, Thomas Baker, Toby McSchmuter, the strikingly attractive Lady Space Cowgirl, and I fit to get into all that shit. Alrighty then, so this plant here is known by the scientific name of KALANCHOE Marnieriana, though this specific gorgeous leafy goddess of a blue-green succulent is named Chloe KALANCHOE. She's been featured in quite a few of my videos, and her species, known commonly as Marnier's KALANCHOE, can be easily recognized by their rounded blue-green paddle-shaped leaves. Because of their uniquely attractive long trailing stems and fast rate of growth, these leafy bulbous bitches are very popular for adding height to succulent arrangements, but they also look absolutely stunning when potted by themselves. Here's the thing though. Some say that the absolute best feature of KALANCHOE Marnieriana is that they are so fucking easy to propagate. And that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna leave Chloe alone for now, but I do plan on hacking some bits off some of the innumerable members of her vast posterity. But before we do any chopping on these bulbous blue-green beauties, first we gotta get our shit together. So yeah, the tools mandatory for Marnieriana multiplication are a magical paintbrush.
Oh my gosh.
Something clean and sharp, preferably pruning shears. A few containers, a quick draining potting soil, preferably a cactus mix, and all the necessary sundries for potting your cuttings once they've been, cut. You'll see why later, but I prefer to use a serving spoon, a soup spoon, and a paintbrush. Also, if you've got a succulent leaf propagation tray already set up, then grab that too. Alrighty then, now that we've got our shit together, let's party. First, let's prepare some cozy little homes for the cuttings we plan to take from these bulbous green goddesses by packing some cactus mix into a few draining containers. I realize that may contradict some succulent care counsel that you may have heard elsewhere, but listen. Because we're using a cactus mix, even a very well-packed container of soil should drain more than quickly enough to protect our plant's roots from any moisture-related complication, especially if you water your plant correctly and your containers are equipped with a drainage hole. While an unpacked mix might drain just a little bit quicker, it will settle over time and leave you in a situation like this. Okie dokie, now that the homes have been prepared, it's time to do some chopping off the tops of these KALANCHOEs, rocking this metropolis.
Oh my gosh.
Compared to the cuttings of most other succulents, Marnier's KALANCHOE are pretty quick to send out roots. Even so, in order to really make sure that your cuttings have a chance to send out roots before they lose all the moisture stored in those bewitchingly beautiful blue-green leaves, be sure to make your cuttings at just the right spot. Listen, Marnier's KALANCHOE can be propagated from cuttings pretty much any time of the year, but arguably the best time to propagate this species of plant is in early springtime. If you take your cuttings at this time, then you'll probably see that towards the leafy tips of your plant, the stems are spry, green, and limber, while towards the base of your plant, the stems are stiff and twiggy. While twiggy stems will grow roots eventually, the softer, greener stems towards the tips of your plant will send out roots much more quickly. For that reason, I strongly recommend taking cuttings from your plant during springtime and to cut your plant towards the ends of the stems from the softer, sprier bits of plant flesh before that bit of plant has undergone any kind of twiggification. What? Again though, this is only a recommendation. There's a good chance that twiggy cuttings will be equipped with air roots or adventitious roots, and even root-free, very twiggy cuttings will probably still send out roots. I'm like 70% sure that in that situation, everything should be just fine. Also, try to take your cuttings between 3 and 6 days after having given the mother plant a good watering, and try to make sure that each of your cuttings are at least 3 inches in length. Alrighty, now that we've got our cuttings cut cut and our pots prepared, let's remove the leaves from the bottom of the stem in order to expose between 1 and 2 inches of stem. You don't need to be too careful here because it is from the wounded bits of stem that your cuttings will eventually send out roots. Also, if you've got a propagation tray set up, then this is a great opportunity to use it. KALANCHOE marnieriana are some of the quickest and easiest succulents to propagate from leaves. Now let's nestle our cuttings into the homes we just prepared for them. The paintbrush comes in really handy for this step in the process, though many prefer to use chopsticks. Check it out, lads and ladies, the newest members of our already idiotically gigantic host of happy houseplants. Hi. We need to talk. Now, I get that you might be tempted to water these fresh potted cuttings first thing. I mean, let's be real, they've had kind of a rough day, and after all the shit that just went down, they're probably kind of thirsty, right? Wrong. Don't do it, okay? Don't fucking do it. Watering these fresh cut bits of kalanchoe can only harm them since they don't have any roots yet. And even if we had potted some cuttings equipped with adventitious roots, there is a very high likelihood of these sweet traumatized fresh potted friends sustaining a subterranean infection due to the moistening of the very recently sustained wounds that they've got, you know, down under.
Oh my gosh.
Instead, I plan on watering these sweet green bitches in 2 to 3 weeks. This should give them plenty of time to form a root system and also time for their subterranean wounds to heal over. Between now and then, I also plan to keep these potted cuttings in very bright indirect sunlight, but out of direct sunlight. This type of light should be bright enough to fuel the photosynthesis of a brand new root system, but not bright enough to burn these beauties up or dry them out. I plan to keep the leaf tray in the same level of lighting, though I will moisten the tray every other day. And if after their first watering these cuttings, you know, get swole, we'll then be sure that they have in fact developed a root system. And from there, we'll gradually introduce them to direct sunlight. Hi, listen, do you like bad graffiti, worse jokes, wacky macrame, and pretty good advice about taking care of your houseplants? Well then f***ing subscribe. Thanks, Baker. That's right. Click that notification bell too so you never miss a new video.